Lessons from a Troubled Past. In a small town in the English countryside lived a boy named Ethan Turner. From an early age, Ethan's life was marked by hardship. His father passed away when he was very young, and his mother worked tirelessly at jobs just to keep food on the table. Love and warmth were scarce in Ethan's home. At school, he was met mostly with scolding and neglect. No one seemed to care for him. Slowly, Ethan made a quiet decision: greater than if the world doesn't love me, then I won't love anyone. That decision shaped him into a cold, indifferent, and sometimes aggressive young man. Soon, Ethan found himself entangled with dangerous groups on the streets. Crimes, deceit, and run-ins with the police became part of his everyday life. Yet the worst part was that he began to believe he deserved this dark path. Throughout his teenage years, Ethan closed many doors behind him. He dropped out of school and lost touch with those who once cared. He always blamed others for his problems, never himself. At age 20, Ethan was arrested for a petty crime and sentenced to a short time in prison. Prison, however, did not calm his anger. One night, an older inmate named Samuel spoke to him quietly. "Greater than you hate others because you have never known love. But remember, your heart is thirsty for kindness. Only kindness can set you free." Ethan laughed at first, but those words lingered in his mind long after. Once released, Ethan wanted to change his life, but didn't know where to start. No one trusted him enough to give him a job. One rainy evening, he wandered into an old town library, seeking shelter from the storm. There, he met Mr. Harold, an elderly librarian with kind eyes. Harold welcomed him warmly, offering tea and a listening ear. He gave Ethan a few books and said, "Greater than reading is a conversation with your own heart." At first, Ethan was skeptical, but as he read stories of others who had fallen and risen, he started to see himself differently. For the first time, he wondered, greater than maybe I'm not doomed by my past. Ethan's greatest challenge was forgiving himself. He often whispered, "Greater than I don't deserve to change." But Harold encouraged him, "Greater than you don't need permission to be good. You only need the will." Ethan began to admit his mistakes. He returned to his former school, apologizing to teachers and classmates he had hurt. Some rejected him, but others embraced him with tears in their eyes. He reached out to troubled youth on the streets, offering guidance, books, and hope. He was healing himself by healing others. Ethan opened a community center called The New Path, a safe haven for young people trying to escape a life of crime. On the wall hung a simple phrase: "Greater than your past is not your sentence, it is your lesson." He never asked the youths about their pasts. Instead, he asked one question: greater than who do you want to be? Years later, Ethan became a respected figure in his town. He participated in social projects, was invited to speak in other cities, and appeared on local TV. Yet he still saw himself as the same young man who once stepped into that old library on a rainy night. One day, he returned to that library. Mr. Harold was now confined to a wheelchair. Ethan knelt beside him and said, "Greater than I've changed, sir. You didn't push me away or judge me. You believed in me. That's the greatest gift I've ever received." Harold smiled and replied, "Greater than now, give that same gift to others." Conclusion: Ethan's story shows us that no matter how dark your past, everyone has the power to find their inner light. It begins with acknowledgement, forgiveness, and dedication to change. Your past is not a verdict, it is a lesson. Today, the choice is yours.